Hi there, folks. Value Price here. I am very excited to have been given an opportunity by Jet Screamer to do a little guest piece, some comic book review on FTO. Pretty awesome stuff. I'm kind of honestly a newer comic book reader. I've been following the Marvel and DC universes for a long time, but really never dug into comics until real recently. So pretty cool to be able to talk about some of the pieces I've read because I'm certainly really excited about them. The piece I want to talk to you about today is what I have been told is a classic, and I would certainly put on a must-read list for anyone getting into comics. It's Frank Miller's Batman Returns, and it is just an awesome, awesome piece of work. A couple of things I just kind of wanted to run through about why I like it so much, why I think it's so great, and hopefully you'll find this to be the same. The first thing, and for any of those of you who've watched Batman Beyond and are familiar with an older Bruce Wayne and a younger Batman, this isn't exactly the same thing, but this is a story about an older Batman. Batman Returns, as a real quick plot synopsis, is pretty much the title explains the whole piece to you. It's an older, sort of silver-aged Bruce Wayne putting on the cowl again and returning to a life of fighting crime to save the city that he loves. And I really like that take on Batman. We're so used to seeing Batman as this, young, strong, powerful, millionaire, playboy Bruce Wayne. And to see him portrayed as a man who is past his prime, I think is just really, really an intriguing take on the story. It's so different than what feels like the majority of what's out there with Batman. And it really, his age, I guess, kind of sets the tone for this piece. It's very grizzled. It's very jaded. Any of you who are familiar with Frank Miller's method of storytelling will instantly recognize this is a very dark, very gritty world. And it just really is a cool take to see this aging superhero still trying to do what he does and still trying to save his city. The other thing I actually really like along those lines is you kind of expect, at least I did as you first get into this piece, that again it's an old Batman. He's going to be fragile. He's not in his crime fighting peak, but he absolutely kicks ass through this whole book. He takes some really ridiculous beatings and just keeps on going, keeps on throwing punches, going up against some bad guys that he really, really has no chance of winning. But of course, he's Batman. You have to read it and see. The other thing, of course, that I already kind of mentioned, but I love about this, is Frank Miller's storytelling. He is so good at weaving this really intricate plot web. And again, for any of you who have read or watched Watchmen, it's definitely a familiar feel in how you have these multiple different strings of storyline, these sort of subplots that all come together and culminate in a really, really crazy and exciting way. The art style is phenomenal. It's very, again, gritty, very dark. And it also does a really good job of exploring characters outside of just Bruce Wayne and Batman. The new Robin in this story arc is pretty amazing, pretty awesome. Commissioner Gordon, his daughter, is basically running the police force now, and the dynamic between her and Batman is just really, really good. Again, something that we're not used to. It's not that staple of Bruce and Gordon, being this sort of upfront and behind the scenes crime fighting duo. And we also get an appearance by Superman in kind of his own sort of side plot as well. So it's just an incredible read. It was long overdue for me, and for anyone looking to really get into the meat of Batman as a character, but maybe to see it in a different way, totally worth picking up this piece. Just really an incredible read. I ended up chewing through the whole thing in probably less than a day, because it just really blew me away. So that's my spiel for this time. Have a couple more coming up for you soon, hopefully. And again, thanks to Jet Screamer and FTO for letting me give a little spiel.